Raw fish again? Trevor thought, as his polar bear family munched noisily on their dinner. He'd been raised by polar bears in this cold, white place since he was a very young troll, but he'd always wanted to know where his real family was. Another meal of wretched frozen herring, another night in the cold, dark cabin. Trevor loved the polar bears dearly and appreciated all they'd done for him, but he needed to find out where he really belonged. It was time to leave and search for his real family and his real home. Trevor knew he had some minds to change. He knew from his reading that everybody thought trolls were ugly, nasty creatures who lived in caves or under bridges. They were greedy and had weird supernatural powers. But Trevor was none of these. He knew he was different. He believed others would see it too. Now, at last, he was packed and ready to go. In his suitcase he carried lots of gold coins from his treasure trunk and his precious bottles of all-natural, homemade hair dyes. You never knew when they might come in handy. So long, Pablo. He gave his dearest polar bear friend a big bear hug and set off over the icy hills. When Trevor finally arrived at the giant cruise ship, he bought his ticket with some of his gold coins and climbed aboard. Soon, he met the captain who was doing his rounds.
"Well, I haven't seen one of your kind in ages," the captain exclaimed. "Not since the day, years ago, when that little troll fell overboard and his whole family dove in after him. It was around here somewhere. There was a storm. We saw the poor little guy floating away on a trunk. We threw out lifelines, we searched, but no luck." The captain had a sad, faraway look in his eyes. Trevor gasped and his face went white. "Do you think that troll family is still alive somewhere?" he whispered. His voice was shaking with emotion. "Well, I wouldn't think so, but you can always hope," the captain replied. Hope. That was all Trevor needed to hear. That was what you had, and your own 2 feet. He spent the next 5 days on board, shopping for all the new clothes he would need for his journey. Trevor Troll was a hopeful fellow, but he was also realistic and knew the chances of finding his real family were very slim. "Maybe I can find a different family to belong to instead," he thought, and dyed his hair pink to make himself look more attractive. When Trevor left the cruise ship, he hired a tugboat in the harbor to take him to the big city. Along for the ride was a friendly ginger cat. The boat chugged along on the river, and Trevor gazed at the gorgeous skyline before him. Maybe a suitable family lived here somewhere. "Do you need a place to stay?" asked the ginger cat. "The city can be rough and tumble. You'll need someone to be your partner. Come with me to my place tonight and meet my family." Trevor accepted the invitation gratefully. When they arrived at her house, Trevor was stunned. It was a cat takeover of a human kitchen. All cat eyes turned towards him. "This is home and family," Ginger Cat told Trevor. "We were all strays, junkyard cats, until a kind senior took us in. She feeds us, looks after us, gives us the run of her kitchen. We're a multi-cat clutter now." Then she turned to her family. "Listen up, everybody. Trevor here needs a home and family, or a partner for his hunt. Can we help him out?" The cats hissed and meowed as they discussed the request. The cat with the purple coat finally spoke. Her eyes were hard and her voice was clipped.
"First, live with us. There's a space issue here, and you're just too big. Second, you can't be in our clutter because you smell funny. All trolls do. And third, we haven't got a partner for you in our hunt. We need to stay hidden when we go out, and your hair, well, it's just way too bright.
Ginger Cat blushed orange. She was ashamed of her clutter. "I know some stray dogs who'd love to be your partner," she whispered. Trevor felt excited and dyed his hair in honor of Ginger Cat. The dog pack eagerly stood at attention when Ginger Cat explained Trevor's goal. Trevor talked with each of them about his needs and their skills. "Stay with me, help and support me. If necessary, protect me." Trevor Troll was able to eliminate some quite quickly. The howling part husky, the vain Springer Spaniel with his new coat and boots, the tiny, shy Bichon Frise. Finally, he chose the St. Bernard with the lolling tongue. He sensed the giant beast was the type who wouldn't give up and would be loyal to him on his journey. "Bernie's a great choice. Good luck to you, my friend," exclaimed Ginger Cat, and she gave Trevor a goodbye kiss with her raspy tongue. He felt a little pang of sadness as she leapt over the fence and disappeared down an alley. "Where shall we go first?" Trevor asked Bernie.
Well, I've been thinking, replied Bernie. You've got great hair. It's tall and prickly and reminds me of a hedgehog. Also, you've got round, beady eyes like them. Maybe they could be your family.
Trevor thought it over. He'd read enough to know that hedgehogs were solitary creatures and not too friendly to strangers, but he thought he should give it a try. He re-dyed his hair and tucked it into a cap so he wouldn't seem like a show-off. When he found them, Trevor climbed into the hedgerow to meet the prickle of hedgehogs while Bernie waited outside. It was a tight squeeze. "I'm looking for a home and a family. I've lost my real one," he began.
What's with the number 1?
The gray-furred granddaddy demanded gruffly.
Do you think you're better than us?
"No," laughed Trevor nervously as he felt himself surrounded. "It's just a cap I bought on sale on a cruise ship." "La-di-da, a cruise ship," mocked one of the hedgehogs. "Sun, sea, and sky. Well, you obviously need way more elbow room than we have here. Plus, how do we know you won't gobble us up? Trolls have a pretty bad reputation, you know." The hedgehogs all chuckled. Trevor felt his face turning red. That was that. He scrambled out of the hedgerow as fast as he could.
Go see the bunny rabbits,
one called after him.
They've got tall ears just like your tall hair.
Before going to see the rabbits, Trevor bought some bunny ears with one of his coins and dyed his hair pink. He wanted to feel more like one of the family this time. He found the rabbit colony in a park, surrounded by lights and cameras. "We're busy," snapped the thin blue rabbit when he heard Trevor's request. "Easter's coming up, and soon our faces will be on every package of chocolate eggs in the Western world." "But I've got bunny ears too, and so does he." Trevor pointed at the sock monkey, who was also pretending to be a bunny. Blue Bunny softened. "Okay, then, hop on in the picture with us," he sighed. "We've got all kinds today. We've even got a giraffe egg. Might as well you bring your mud in, too. Here we go. Everybody say, chocolate!" Went the camera. "Fabulous," said the cameraman. "But you can't be in our colony," said a second bunny when the photos were done. "We're sorry. Trolls are just not known for their cuteness like us."
Plus, your legs, they're like tree trunks, piped up a third bunny. You couldn't keep up with the speed in our colony. Why not go see the elephants? You're big and slow, just like them. Speed isn't everything, comforted Bernie as the bunnies hopped away. Trevor Troll finally found a small herd of elephants at an oasis in a wildlife sanctuary. They inspected Trevor with interest and listened carefully to his story about home and family. Humph, said the mama, mussing his hair, which he just re-dyed yellow. Too much, too bright. Gorgeous legs, though, said Papa with admiration. Nice big ears. Not much of a neck, just like us. How's your memory? Fine, I guess. Trevor was surprised by the sudden question. Okay, then. What's the name of the ship you said you came over on? Trevor could not remember. Typical troll, not much upstairs, sighed Mama. That's not what we like to see in our family. We never forget. If they don't care about smarts and don't mind your short neck, said Papa, the giraffe tower will be along here in a little while. Maybe they'll take you in. Your memory is perfectly fine, Bernie reassured Trevor. Those elephants are snobs. Here come the giraffes, exclaimed Bernie. Aren't they gorgeous? Trevor had to lie on his suitcase to see up to their faces. I'm looking for a home and family. I was wondering if I could join your family. I mean your tower. I can make up cool games to play in the watering hole. I won't be any trouble. You? Why, you're a troll, aren't you? Said the tallest giraffe. He glared down at him. You're awfully short. Wait, said the second tallest giraffe. Wasn't it the troll who made that quilt out of Cousin Ginny's hide? I believe it was. You'd best be on your way, my nasty little friend. And don't worry, Trevor, said Bernie sympathetically. Who needs their long necks anyway? But Trevor was upset. I've got to find a family, any family at this point. Trevor and Bernie walked a long way in silence. The lonely troll was thinking that of all the creatures he'd met, only Ginger Cat and the dogs had been friendly. As he was walking along, feeling glum, he almost bumped into a little girl who was picking flowers. Hey, Mummy, it's a troll, she screamed in delight. Hey, Mr. Troll, will you play with me? You look hungry and tired. Come over to my house and we can play. You can come too, dog. Trevor felt a surge of happiness as the little girl took them to her home. After dyeing his hair again, he had a lovely lunch and a dip in the pool, and then had a chance to tell his tale. But deep down, he realized this wonderful human family was not right for him either. Wait, said the mom. I wonder if that family of trolls is still living over on Styles Lane. Then to Trevor, I'll drive you there. Trevor couldn't believe his good fortune. He felt hopeful again, and it was a great feeling. And so the mom took Trevor and Bernie out in the yellow car to find the troll's home. They took Styles Lane, a winding road that led deep into a foggy forest. First they came to a very odd domed house, all eerie and moss-covered. Bernie trotted up and peered in the dark doorway. Trevor explained his goal to the two chipmunks that popped their heads out.
Trolls? They moved out a long time ago. Said this house was too small. Nobody lives here anymore. Walk down the road a ways.
The next home was more like a cottage, and Trevor thought it looked homey. But the owners were a family of gruff badgers. Them trolls moved out a long time ago, growled the dad.
Said this place wasn't big enough. Try Maple Lodge Lane somewheres.
Trevor was feeling very hopeful. Here were two folk who knew about the troll family at least. He almost dove back into the car in his excitement. Even before Trevor saw them, he heard them and knew he'd come to the right place. He could hear laughing just like his own troll tinkle and could catch snatches of song. The car turned a corner and, wow! Spread before him was the biggest family he had ever seen, and they were all trolls, just like him. They were all milling about, some working, some singing, and some playing. Then Trevor spotted a senior troll in a dress and caught her eye. She screeched and came barreling forward. "Trevor, is that you?" She threw herself into his arms with such force that she almost knocked him over. "Look, everybody, he's home! My first grandchild is home!" The enormous family of trolls quickly surrounded Trevor and welcomed him with fat, wet troll kisses.
"Introductions!"
yelled another senior troll in a striped railroad hat. Quickly and quietly, the huge family gathered on the porch and roof of the large wooden home. Each stepped forward and called out his or her name as Trevor looked on in astonishment. "We're 23 trolls and counting," giggled the rainbow-haired twins, Tyler and Travis. Trevor's brothers and sisters then took him on a tour of the house and grounds. His room-to-be had beautiful pictures of rivers and bridges on the walls. The gardens were bursting with colorful flowers. It was all so wonderful it seemed like a dream. At last, Grandma Tola and Grandpa Toby sat Trevor down in the cozy living room for a fireside chat. "When you fell off that cruise ship, we searched and searched, but we had to give you up for drowned," Grandma Tola began, and brushed away a tear from the corner of her eye.
"We were eventually rescued, but it was a life-changing event for us," continued Grandpa Toby. "We've spent years trying to change our bad image. We've had some success and live together in peace now, but it's been a long road."
"Don't I know it?" agreed Trevor, and he told Grandpa and Grandma all about his travels and adventures. Bernie listened quietly. His job was done, and he'd been invited to live with the big human family. Soon he'd say goodbye. When Trevor finished his tale, he laid down on the couch and watched sleepily as his brother Travis and sister Tyler wrestled on the rug. "Hey, Trev," said Travis, "we're going over to the bridge to hang out with Billy the Gruff Goat. Want to come?" At that moment, Trevor Troll knew that he'd found home and family. That night, Trevor had a dream. He was in a clearing in the forest, and there was something about flowers.